to the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR to sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single night. Avs lose to the St. Louis Blues 4-1 in Game 2. The series is even at 1. Their first loss of the playoffs, depending on what mysterious theory of curses and jinxes that you apply to. It's actually better that they didn't win 6 games in a row, because now they can't repeat last year. So
doesn't mean we don't get to stop talking about him, apparently.
I mean, whatever.
I literally, at the start of the third period, a guy tweeted at me to fire Bednar.
I got one, too.
That's nonsense.
I didn't get
Look,
Being outclassed.
Outclassed. Look, no one's going to sit here and tell you that the Avs were the better team tonight. The Avs got outplayed. The Avs played at least for 35 minutes of this game, maybe more. The Avs were terrible. They did not play good hockey.
They did not execute anything on the ice.
I would
it was
even
bad.
say
it was bad.
Like 40 minutes of hockey.
Yeah, you could definitely go
like
that far.
It was getting better before the 5-on-3 at the end of the second,
And
but yeah.
So there is a baseline that you have to understand in this game. Of everything we talk about was, the Avs need to be better.
Yep.
Straight up. You know the Avs are better than that. You know they need to do... Execution is the word of the night. The Avs just did not execute pretty much anything the entire night.
You don't want to discount, though, what the Blues did and Bennington. I mean, Bennington played a great game for what he was asked to do, and I thought the Blues executed their game plan against the Avs pretty well. Nothing to take away. The Avs did play bad, but the Blues did everything right as well.
Yeah, they capitalized on their chances.
That's where they did better.
Correct. I don't think, on the surface, I don't think this is a particularly complicated game.
Yep.
Just like the better team won Game 1, the better team won Game 2. You don't have to overthink that side of it. Now, how the bread got made, there are things here, there are things there. We're going to talk about all of that, but we have to start with a 60-second rundown, and it's one of us three.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Do I have a timer?
You want a timer?
Hell yeah.
All right, 5 seconds. Let me find it.
I'm going to time your 5 seconds to get the timer. You're over.
I already got it. Ready?
Yeah.
Go. Very funny. How many seconds do you need? Not many? Or are you just not going to say anything? That's an option. Fair enough. All right. AJ doesn't have to say anything.
Wait, the timer's still going, though.
Well, we do have to actually talk about the game, so I'll say stuff.
Okay. I don't think I need 30 seconds, but you're spinning your wheels, so I'll just jump in.
I mean, I'll start.
Basically, the Avs did not play quality hockey. It was very sloppy. The Blues were playing good hockey.
Yep.
Got 2 goals that go in off of Avalanche sticks. You have a 2-0 lead. The Avs make it 2-1 at the start of the third on the power play. A 2-on-1 the other way after a terrible misplay makes it 3-1. Kuemper didn't play well enough, and the Avs deserved to lose, and they did.
Yep.
Boom.
Easy money.
Whoa, look at that. And it was a bummer, too, because the way that Kuemper started this game
Yeah, played great in the
was
first.
phenomenal.
Played great.
I thought he played phenomenal, and then it just kind of went downhill.
Yeah, I mean,
Focus wasn't
you don't
there.
have any bones about Kuemper until the third goal, where you just need a save there.
Yeah.
You just needed that save.
When it goes off your glove like that, that's a savable puck.
like it goes off
right?
the bottom of your glove.
Yeah.
Like, you moved your glove out of the way of where that puck was headed, man. Like, you didn't pick it up. You didn't see it cleanly. You didn't make a good reaction to it. You literally opened the door for that goal.
Yeah. Bummer.
If he just doesn't
Bummer.
move his glove, that's a stop, and we have no idea what happens in this game.
Yeah.
Let's try to go a little bit chronologically here. First period, things get started. Blues push pretty hard. Kuemper looks good. Avs struggled to get any amount of real proper footing in this game.
Yeah, they never really had rhythm until they were chasing the game.
Agreed.
And
Well,
you just can't wait until you're losing to try and find your game. Like it's a good, it was a, like you liked the heart and the response and all of that, but you can't wait that long.
Well, and especially in the first area, if you look at it, like the possession time was all Blues in the Avalanche zone the whole time. There wasn't a lot of sustained pressure from the Avalanche in that period at all. And the Blues they took their chances, and luckily Kuemper was, on his game in that first period, kept him in it.
Yeah.
And then as the game wore on, it just felt like the effort and concentration just kind of went out the window.
It never really got better.
Yeah.
Like the first period, they might have started defending better, but their execution in the neutral zone wasn't there. They just made life really easy for the Blues.
A lot of flubbed pucks too. Did you notice that? Like
Yeah,
even
and,
just
like,
like stick handling
It
pucks.
was a lot of flub pucks on both sides, which tells you that
Yeah.
the ice isn't great. But also, like, I don't think that the Blues played some fantastic game here. I think that the Avs just
I
made
agree with
life
that.
a little easy here.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about they get a 5-on-5 goal on what should most of the time be a nothing shot that goes in off of like it.
Knuckle
the-
pucks off of Gerard's
it
stick.
knuckle pucks
Right
off
off
Gerard's
Gerard's
stick
stick,
and
yeah.
perfectly into the corner, and you're like, okay, well, that's a tough break. And then they started to play better. And then you get it's an obvious tripping penalty on
Yep.
Taves behind
Yep.
the net.
Yep.
And then you get the goaltender interference to go down 5-on-3, and I don't know.
How'd you guys feel about that goalie interference?
I mean, we'll get there. Let's not jump too far ahead just yet. Because I do think, look, there is a certain amount of this game where you can, if you want to, chalk it up to, you know what, the Avs didn't have it tonight. And it's pretty clear that they didn't throughout the vast majority of the game. Even doing things like making a solid pass through the neutral zone was difficult for them. But that's something that over the course of the entire playoffs, you have to find a way to win some of these hockey games with your B or C game. And the Avs really did not find a way to win by any stretch of the imagination tonight.
Yeah.
And I know we'll get to the positives in the third period. I'm curious, Meghan. I know you got your notes over there, I'm sure. What positives do you have for the Avs in the first couple periods?
That Cale Makar is okay after hitting the post as hard as he did.
Digging pretty deep, but that's a good positive.
And actually, I don't know if I'm going to take any heat for this, but I am a little defensive of Kuemper's game overall, even with the third goal that he let in. That was a bit of a soft one because of what he did in the first period. I don't know that with the Avalanche team that was in front of him tonight, if he did make that save on that third goal, that the Avs win this game otherwise. Or anyways, I should say, and I'm kind of defensive of his performance in the first period especially. I thought that he played really well.
Yeah, look, Kuemper, I think, definitely kept the Avs in this game through the first period, certainly, and through most of the second. I put the third goal on him. I do. I also, we said it on the watch-along, putting that goal on Kuemper doesn't put this game on Kuemper.
For sure.
The Avs scored one goal.
They were already losing when that goal went
you
in.
can't expect to win a hockey game when you as a team score one goal. It's just...
Well, that one just puts it out of reach, but yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Again, it wasn't. I thought Kuemper played well through most of the game.
Look,
It's just
the
a
only
few
thing you
soft
want
spots.
different from Darcy Kuemper is the third goal.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's the only thing you look at Darcy Kuemper and say, that's what I want different from that guy.
As opposed to the rest of the team where you're like, no, most of
There's
these
a lot
things...
more
Yeah.
to talk about there. That's my greater
like,
takeaway.
how did they get the 2-on-1 in the first place? Like,
Cale
what is-
Makar's
what
pinch,
is-
yeah.
where's Cale Makar going?
Yeah.
How do Burakovsky and
Yeah, how
Makar
did Berkey read that?
miscommunicate so badly that they just gifted a 2-on-1 like that, totally
Oh, and-
free
and-
2-on-1 to St. Louis's top line? What the hell are you doing?
And the thing is, like, it didn't result in that many 2-on-1s in the game, but it was all night that these dudes were not communicating at all.
No, on their
Absolutely.
own 2-on-1 chance. I think McKinnon and
And Mikko, they
Absolutely.
nearly collide. Like,
just don't finish there.
it was brutal. It was genuinely brutal.
I think the word I'm thinking of too, the difference maker for St. Louis from game 1 into game 2 is intentional hockey. St. Louis just played more intentional hockey and the Avalanche didn't have purpose.
The Avs really did feel like they meandered through a lot of this game. And again, there's no beating around the bush. The Avs need to play better. That's anyone who tells you otherwise is crazy.
Well, the Blues top line beat the Avs top line tonight, too.
Yeah,
Straight up.
that's fair.
So
Call it what it is. They got outplayed.
here is part of it that bugs me. You get into the start of the third period, and you see this energy that you haven't seen from the rest of the game from the Avs. And I get it. There are multiple factors there. You can't play a full 60 minutes like your hair are on fire. But they played 40 minutes where at any time they could have used a little bit of that energy.
Yeah.
That it didn't have to come when they're already down 2 with 20 minutes left to play.
Yeah.
You got to stem the bleeding a little bit somewhere. And yeah, I think they understood, just like everyone watching, that they didn't really have it tonight. But a little bit of that energy can help cover up for that, make up for it a little bit. You start winning puck battles. You start putting a strong forecheck on. You stop giving up easy stuff. And, the Avs just didn't get it there tonight. Not often enough, not good enough.
You're in the postseason.
Yep.
We talked about how the St. Louis team isn't last year's Blues club. They're just better. They're especially better offensively, where when you give them opportunities, they can capitalize. You look at 2 of their 3 goals tonight. The Kyrou goal, whatever. The first goal, but the second goal, you put them on a 5-on-3.
Yep.
And then the third goal, you hand them a 2-on-1. They didn't have to do anything except say, thank you for the golden opportunity. We have capitalized on it. Like, I'm not trying to say that the Blues didn't play good hockey here, but this is easily as much about Colorado beating itself as St. Louis, just capitalized. But the Avalanche just handed game-changing situations to them, and St. Louis got out of their own way and said, "Oh shit, thanks."
And David
walked
Perron
right on through the door.
David Perron finished those 2 goals.
Just walked right through it, man.
Yeah.
If that is the best that St. Louis can play, the Avs win this series in 5.
I mean, I don't.
You don't have to go there. But my point being, if that's the best St. Louis has, and you put it up against the best the Avs have, the Avs smoke that team, I believe. Now, the Avs have to play up to their ability, which they absolutely did not in this game. And if they don't in Game 3, the Avs have a serious problem.
I think they're going to go 1-1 in St. Louis.
Think they're going to split?
Yeah.
We'll see. These are all just wild predictions that no one truly knows the answer to.
It's true.
I mean, this is where you get to see, okay, how do you respond to this?
Yeah.
You aren't going into Vegas with a 2-0 lead. Now you're on the road facing the possibility of, hey, if you don't get this done, you're chasing the series.
Yep.
Now you're the team that's behind. Now you've got to figure it out. So, look, we'll I'm sure make this a bigger conversation later, but you're not going to win a Stanley Cup without adversity.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I understand that half of our chat has already given up on the season, but so you're going to lose games in the postseason. They are playoff teams. This is the second round. There are no actual bad hockey teams in the second round.
To that point, as everyone thinks I'm making a bad take, my point is I think the Blues are going to play better than they did in this game for the rest of the series. I don't think that's the Blues' best game, and they still beat the Avs because the Avs played terribly.
Somebody feels the way I do when Hansen comes on in the bar.
Look, obviously, no one is going to be happy as far as Avs fans are concerned that the Avs lost this game.
Sure.
But there's a reason.
You never want to lose, but you were going to at some point.
No team has ever gone 16-0 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's a reason you play a 7-game series. And the Avs still have to prove it. They have to go out and win games 3 and/or 4. But this one was bad. There's no two ways around it. I do want to talk about the second period, but we are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. You can use code DNVR when you sign up there. Bet $5 with a new account on any NBA playoff game and get $150 in free bets. If you bet against the Avs tonight, you probably won a lot of money. St. Louis was like plus 280 or something, I think.
275 when I looked, yeah.
So you could have made a lot of money hedging your emotional bet there. Could have worked out for you. You can also bet on all sorts of other nonsense, from cornhole to badminton to random hockey things. I think Bennington hit his over on saves.
Can we get rid of that guy?
Which one? Tell me the name.
Get rid of Franco from the start of the show. It's been this.
Scroll down.
Sorry, guys, I'm doing like 50 different
Fine.
Thank you, Yaya.
Anyway,
I'll get rid of that asshole.
go over to DraftKings. Use code DNVR when you sign up for the new account. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Other terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And of course, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. We're also brought to you by Avaca TV. You can go to avaca.tv/DNVR. That's EVOCA.tv/DNVR. When you go over there, by the way, we're live on Avaca right now. If you're watching on Avaca, hello. We have a channel that shows our stuff live. Super easy to just switch over to that channel, along with Altitude and Rocky Mountain Sports Network, AT&T Sports Network now. I keep doing that. National channels too.
Man, it's been AT&T for a few years.
I know. I can't.
I can't let the time. This is like me still calling them the San Diego Chargers.
I called Ballerina Pepsi Center the other day.
no.
It's brutal, man.
I still occasionally.
When
It's
you're
the
not
COVID
thinking
fog.
about it. Oh, is
It's the
that what it
COVID
is?
fog,
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
It's true.
Go over there. Again, avaca.tv/DNVR. Let them know we sent you over there. Just $15 a month for the first 3 months. A ridiculously good deal compared to your other options when it comes to watching things like Altitude. So jump on that. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. The second period was better than the first,
It was getting
but
better.
I use that term loosely.
Yeah, it was getting better. Like, right before the back-to-back penalties, they had started to sustain offensive zone pressure.
Yeah.
They weren't doing much with it. Like, there wasn't a lot of creation, but they were playing in the right part of the ice. And you're like, okay, this is kind of how, like, you feel a little bit of confidence here. You're feeling better about this. This is nice. Like, okay, great. This is something to build on. And as soon as I said that on the watch-along, they go down there, Taves trips a dude.
Yeah.
It's a clear-cut trip, and
Yep.
then the two-man advantage happens. Like, the whole second period, you could skip up until the penalties.
Pretty much.
Because it was like, nothing was really happening. St. Louis didn't do anything in the second period.
Yeah.
They've got a 1-0 lead, and they don't do a thing with it. They don't. Their energy doesn't go up. Their play doesn't go up. They don't do anything with it. The Avs slowly start to be like, okay, well, we've had like some okay shifts here. And then they just gave them a 5-on-3. And St. Louis was like, well, we rule at this, so thank you. And then it still took kind of a goofy goal.
I mean, do we want to talk about the 5-on-3 penalty?
The second penalty?
Yeah, like obviously, Taves can't take the trip. The Avs put themselves in a bad situation.
The minute
Again,
that stick gets turned sideways,
yeah,
they're going to call it.
like the Avs created a poor situation for themselves. Ultimately, I think the 5-on-3 call is what it is. I don't love it, but I'm curious what your guys' takes are on it.
I mean, if you just look at this game and the way the officiating happened in the first period and into the second, it was basically put the whistles away, let them play.
Yeah.
And now that wasn't an egregious like check into the goalie. Like he was going hard to the net. You can see him trying to avoid Bennington. Still runs into him because of the momentum.
He also has contact from Falk. Now,
Yeah,
it's not like
yeah,
Falk is like
No,
driving him into
Falk
the net.
is on his shoulder. Yeah, he's not fully extended,
Right.
but he's pushing him through, and he tries to get out of the way. It's just contact that it's going to happen in that play. I don't see that as a penalty on that one. If he barrels into him, just lets up and goes in.
I
Sure.
can see where when you watch it on replay, he doesn't. The skates aren't going forward for him to start stopping until it's way too late. But he hadn't
right.
taken a stride.
Well, you're still trying to beat Falk there, right?
Right. But I'm saying, like, he's not still propelling himself forward.
No, yeah.
He's not striding into him, but he stops late, and I think that's probably where he gets that call, where he gets called for it, is because the actual attempt to stop is a little slow. But, like, dude,
I just,
you
if
spent
you look
the
at
whole
the
game being like, all right, we're going to allow a lot of contact here. They allowed multiple incidents of interference all game long.
David
where
Perron
they're letting
actively
guys just muck it up.
Exactly. Perron actively was laying on Kemper's pads early in the game.
It's the consistency. I think it's the right call, but it wasn't consistent.
well, that's what I was saying. Is like they've kind of already said it, like, hey, we're gonna let you play, and then all of a sudden it's like, I mean, that if it was egregious and like straight into him, barreling over him, it's like, okay, that's a penalty all day.
Yeah.
But it's not something where like it's a dangerous play.
And
It's a hard to the net play.
Like, look, Devontae's doesn't take the initial penalty, and you're never in this room in the first place.
Yeah, and like Devontae's arguably your smartest player.
Yep.
And then maybe your next smartest player is Valdichushkin.
Yeah.
And they put you in the worst situation possible. And like you just when you talk about your best players not playing well, now you're arguably your two smartest players do dumb shit.
Yeah.
Because regardless of whether or not we think it's goalie interference or not, like, he puts himself in a position where they can make that call against him.
Yeah.
If he holds up and he's not going all out and he just stops and he's like, okay, let's just kill the penalty. I had a chance here. I tried to make it happen, just didn't work out. And he peels off and he goes back and he goes probably for a change after that. And they go back to killing the penalty. Who knows how that goes?
Yep.
But he puts himself in that position where they can make the call against him. We understand why we're frustrated by that call, especially given the David Perron, Darcy Kuemper thing earlier. But, like, you put yourself in positions.
Yeah.
And tonight, you talk about you make your own luck. Like, the Avs, the Blues make their own luck with a couple of shots that go off Avs sticks. The Avs make their own luck by putting themselves in a position to be in a 5-on-3 by
tough spots,
questionably running a goaltender down a man already.
It goes deeper than that too, right? Like the Avs failing to create dangerous opportunities, certainly through the first two periods. And it's not for lack of opportunity. We saw multiple points in this game where I guess the Avs are going to go for a spinning backhand, or you're going to watch someone skate it through the slot and out, or they're going to throw a no-look pass to nobody.
Yeah, that's flub hockey. That's the best description for it. It's flub hockey. It's bad.
It's not great. It's not great. And, on the one end, I think you can be confident that, or at least I'm confident that I expect to see the Avs play better in Game 3. And if they don't play better in Game 3, then you start to worry a little bit.
Would you say that this was their kind of a floor game for them?
I don't know how the Avs can play worse.
So, yes. Your answer is yes on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of what I looked at. It's like this is their
we still haven't seen the Avs
hockey.
get beat when they play
their best game.
Yeah, when they play a good, not even their best, but a good hockey game.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen them get beat in that situation. They got beat in a game where they played poorly.
Yeah.
And and again, I can't get over the fact that they hand St. Louis opportunity. It's one thing if it's like, oh, this guy makes a nice breakup of a play and he does this and he does that. Like, they gave them a 5-on-3. They gave them a 2-on-1 to close it out.
Yeah.
That's your game-winning and your insurance goals. Are 5-on-3 and a 2-on-1. You handed them the golden opportunities that they needed.
Yep.
And they didn't have to do anything beyond that.
So they were pizza men, delivery men.
You just shot yourself in the foot, like bang, 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 bang.
Serving them up hot and fresh.
True story. One of my uncles was a state trooper in Kansas.
Oh boy.
Legit did that. Gun in the holster, shot himself in the foot.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
We weren't allowed to talk about it as a family at gatherings because it was a sore subject. remains one of the funniest things. Like, just tremendously funny.
I can't believe I laughed on that one.
And like that's exactly it. Like Colorado shot themselves in the foot, and St. Louis was just like, "Cool, we'll take that."
Yep, I agree.
Like St. Louis still had to capitalize. It's
And
not like they just award goals.
They executed for sure.
They executed. They did what they had to do.
Yeah.
And
They played a good game. They played a good game.
That's good is correct. I don't think St. Louis played great. I
No,
think
they
they
played a
played
good
good.
they were fine.
Yeah.
They played better than the Avs.
They played
Yep.
better in game 1. They played better than the Avs. They deserved to win the game, and they won.
Yep.
Game 2. Anyway, doesn't matter.
They played
Who are
better
the
than in
players
game
that
1.
used to do the bang bang?
Got it.
You missed that one word.
Missed a word. I
Yeah.
think, anyway, the one real positive for the Avs in this game, they do get a power play goal, and it comes from our king of the game, Gabe Landeskog,
It's a
Cool.
good angle.
who, like, obviously there's not a whole lot else to choose from in this game for Colorado.
What
but-
else? What other king were you gonna pick?
Yeah.
Well, he capitalized on a great opportunity. Puck comes back to him off of
Yeah.
a weird bounce.
Like
Flips
the
those wrists
the
and
Avs
puts
get
it
lucky
upstairs.
too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Kadri's not trying to make that play,
No.
and the puck just
No,
slides
yeah.
to Landeskog down there on the,
Yeah,
on
right
the
on his
goal
stick.
line.
But what a great finish, though. Yeah.
Like that's a great
Yeah.
It's from a
again.
great angle. Yeah.
You get an opportunity, you capitalize on it.
Yep.
Fucking imagine that.
It's and I think that's part of what's frustrating about this game for the Avs is it wasn't they're getting the chances, they're just not capitalizing. It was all over. It was they're not creating the chances,
Yep.
they're not capitalizing on the few that they get, and they're actively giving up ones to St. Louis. The triple whammy. Nonetheless, I think you kind of saw it in Landy's reaction with that goal. The Avs, this game was 2-1 with 18 minutes left in the third period. So it was still very much a hockey game. Now,
Well,
obviously, the Avs didn't get there.
until the third goal.
Yeah.
They were dominating
Yeah.
play, and they were playing with the kind of energy and the kind of urgency you wanted to see from a team that was trailing. And they were down as 10 minutes, and you're like, okay, are they going to get this thing tied up? Can the Blues continue? Can they really play in their own zone the whole period against a team as offensively talented as Colorado? Are they really going to play 20 minutes in their own zone? Because they weren't doing anything on the other end of the ice.
Yep.
And then Colorado just gave them a free 2-on-1 that had nothing to do with the Blues. The Blues literally just walked up the wall and were like,
Thank you.
so it's just us then?
Yeah. I don't understand chat's take of wanting McDermott in based on this game.
They've got to be joking.
Like, no offense to Curtis, but if your problem is poor hockey execution, Curtis McDermott is not going to solve that.
Put in arguably your
I
least
do think
talented
Yeah.
player.
I do think there is a case now for Newhook to maybe show up.
Yeah, now you've got the perfect, hey, we didn't execute. We had a skill problem.
Yep.
Alex
Guess
Newhook's
who's
a
waiting
star
in the
guy.
wings?
If that's not Alex Newhook's music.
I mean, it's his time to shine, right? This is how you get your spot in the playoffs, and tough loss
And-
leads to opportunities for guys that are not in the lineup right now,
Yeah.
especially a skilled player like Newhook.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even then, you look at that, and you're like, okay, where's Mikko Rantanen?
Oh, where's Kadri? Like
Picks up an assist.
Yeah.
Second.
Both of those guys pick up an assist on the one goal that they score, but you're looking at him and even so, look, I'm willing to move off of the Kadri because he was so good in game 1.
Yeah.
That line absolutely dominated, right? And so I'm like, okay, played pretty well. Mikko Rantanen,
MIA
you make
tonight.
$9 million. Where the fuck are you? You're like a legit 6'5", 220 pounds. You are a tank of a human being. How are you this invisible?
I honestly didn't even notice him out there tonight at all.
Other than the failed 2-on-1 with McKinnon.
The failed 2-1, and which ultimately doesn't matter because that draws the penalty that they ended up scoring on. And so you're like, cool.
The thing is, like,
But yeah, another good example where you're just like,
that sums up the entire game for Mikko. He's doing things like throwing a weak wrister from beyond the circles. And it's just, especially in a game where the Avs trailed for the majority of it.
Yeah.
You're begging that dude to show some energy.
Which power play was it where he's standing like 2 feet inside the blue line and the puck comes to him and he just whips it near the net?
Yeah.
Where you're like, look, at even strength, we're talking about making your own luck and like trying to figure it out and maybe you get lucky or whatever, but you're like, you're not even making a competitive play there. You just blindly whip the puck on net. You don't get it on net. You miss the net with it. You threw it at the net. You don't. It's like, what the hell are you doing? You're on a power play. You just got set up. You just throwing the puck around here. It's Calvin ball with the guy. There's no structure. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. The effort is waxing and waning like a cycle of the goddamn moon.
And
you just need Mikko Rantanen to show up.
I agree, but I also want to point out, and this applies to bring Newhook in too, which I think they should, but one player does not fix a team-wide issue that you had in this game.
Absolutely not. But
No, but it can spark some change.
But I mean, somebody has to step up and do something. Was Ryan O'Reilly great in this game? No, but
Not
David
really.
Perron got it done.
Yeah.
It sends a message, too.
Like that, it takes a
From the
village.
coaching
You
staff,
need those
yeah.
guys. Everybody's got to be pulling on the rope in the same direction. And right now, Mikko Rantanen looks like he's just watching the rest of his team pull on the rope.
A little bit. It definitely does.
Like, there are guys that you live with. You live with, like, a talent problem from Darren Helm and Andrew Cogliano and Nico Sturm. And, like, you live with, like,
well, and who?
Nicholas Abe-Kubel. But Mikko Rantanen is one of the most naturally gifted players in the entire NHL.
Yep.
There is no reason that a defense as small and as not physical as the Blues group is, especially when he's going against Nick Leddy all the time, he should be dominating that dude.
He was also silent in the first round, though,
he
too.
should be dominating. That's Nick Leddy's assignment is on his side. They should be going one-on, and he should be housing Nick Leddy. Nick Leddy's not good anymore.
It's true.
Like, defensively, he was always kind of a work in progress, but at this point in his career, Nick Leddy's just not that good. His value comes in his ability to move pucks. Mikko Rantanen should be dominating Nick Leddy, and it's not happening.
And
like, you need better from McKinnon.
Well,
Two games in, Cale Makar hasn't done shit for you.
Makar
the thing
has
is,
not
like,
looked himself.
what makes it so frustrating? Did you say something?
I said Makar has not looked himself.
I agree. And what makes this so frustrating is, again, that 5 to 10 minute stretch of the third period where all of a sudden it's like, oh, the Avs are dominating this team physically.
So you're capable of
yeah,
doing this.
you know they can do it. They showed you enough that it's like, oh, okay, so they can. And they just didn't for most of the game.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to bat for Kuemper even on that third one, because it was just too little too late effort as far as I'm concerned with the Avalanche.
I mean, yeah, we don't live in the world where it's 2-1, maybe the Avs tie it up, maybe they don't. We don't know. But certainly, we also don't live in the world where the Avs come out and play better and are leading after the first period, which was on the table. We don't know. And you just need better. I think that is safe to say for Colorado. And everyone who's watched this team knows they can and should be better than they played in this hockey game.
Yeah.
So
100%.
And, like, the big difference here is that there isn't any, like, major tactical adjustment that the Blues made.
Yep, it
Like,
was the same stuff.
They tinkered a little bit with how they were defending in the neutral zone. I think that gave Colorado problems early on, but then you just started seeing so many execution issues.
Yeah.
That it's hard to give the Blues full marks here.
No neutral
for some
zone
tactical
defense
brilliance
makes you miss passes by 5 feet.
When the
Like-
Avs execution completely on its own just wasn't good enough.
Oh, it self-imploded. I mean, all night. Even when they were playing good, there was missed passes.
We were
weird
talking
stick
about
handling,
it.
yeah.
You got guys that are going into the corner and they're turning around and they're trying to find somebody and they find a guy and they throw it behind him and they throw it into his feet and you're just like, you're getting a decent scoring chance here that could have been a grade A chance had you just executed a little bit.
Well, we talked about that a little bit too, right? Like, there was so much deferring Like, I don't want to do it. You do it.
It's
In front of the net.
and it's crazy because all of game one, and even in the first period of this game, we pointed out, Binnington is giving up rebounds like nuts. Like, you throw it on net and the puck's coming out every single time.
Yeah.
Why are you deferring?
Yeah.
And I thought Binnington was better in this game, just
I thought he was too.
not.
He wasn't swimming back
He wasn't
there.
as squirrely, and he's not getting beat by pucks that are smoking the post.
Yep.
He's not creating a lot of his own problems with fat rebounds. There were some. It's gonna happen. Binnington and Kuemper are both goalies that give up rebounds. Like, you need to be cognizant of that. But they just made life really easy for Jordan Binnington in this game.
Yep.
Well, and they didn't make any huge mistakes on the defensive side either. Like, they were good at getting those pucks out of the zone. So
Yeah, certainly compared to the Avs turning over the puck seemingly at will on the clearing attempts. We are brought to you by Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. There will officially be a Game 5 in this series, and Breck Brew will be giving away 2 tickets to that hockey game. You can go to breckbrew.com to nominate someone to win. Get on over there. They'll also be giving away tickets to every Avalanche home game of the playoffs. So if they make round 3, if they make the finals, they'll be giving away tickets to those also. Highly recommend you get in on that. What's better than free playoff hockey? Is there a thing? I doubt it. Hard to beat, put it that way. We're also brought to you by Green Mountain Dental. Jump on it, go see Green Mountain Dental Group. They are down in Lakewood, just 15 minutes from downtown. They're awesome. Everyone who's switched is like, they're the best dentist I've ever had. You go in there, they take care of you super quick. They'll get you whatever you need and get you out of there. When you get a cleaning, x-ray, and exam, you get a free Sonicare toothbrush just for taking care of your teeth, just for going to the dentist. They give you a free fancy toothbrush so you can take care of your teeth better at home. So go jump on that opportunity right there. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Let's get to the Super Chats. $5 from Travis in Sponge Mock. Does anybody else think the national broadcasters are biased against the Avs? I'm going to be honest with you. We couldn't hear them the entire game, so I don't know.
No idea.
I don't genuinely, outside of, I think, the Rangers game in Denver this year,
It was fine.
it's not a thing that I hardly ever think about.
Yep. $5 from Real. Can you bet on flub hockey on DraftKings?
You should be.
Who's the Jock Floorball of flub hockey?
that is
Jock
good.
Floorball was a long time ago.
That's a good one.
That's how long I've been on this.
That was
I left my Zoom name as that, and I jumped on a Zoom today, and somebody was like, change that.
That was only like 4 months ago. It really
It was
wasn't
earlier this season.
Yeah,
but
it feels like
a
years
lifetime
ago. $5 from Harrison. This game was nothing but a wake-up call for them. If the boys play with a little more heart and just get one win in St. Louis, the campaign is ours.
Well, you got to look back at the their year, right? Like, what do they do after bad performances? They usually come out and have a great performance afterwards. There's been a few exceptions. I think it was like after Montreal, then they played the Devils. Whatever it was.
You
I don't remember
expect
anymore.
a rebound performance, but at the end of every series, it's 1 to 4.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
you saw the Avs go up 2-0 against Vegas, and then Vegas won 4-2. You've seen plenty of teams come back from 3-1. This isn't the first round. You're not playing a wild card team. You got to earn everything you keep.
But I think if you see them come back in the third game,
Yeah.
show some life.
I
Even
think-
no
and I
matter
think
no
they
matter
will.
what happens.
Yeah,
If the
if they
performance
lose
is
game
there.
3, the series isn't over.
Yeah.
But you're right. You want to see what the process is.
You have
Yeah.
to steal one now in
now,
St.
now
Louis
you've lost
to get
home ice advantage.
yeah, home ice.
Because if they just
Exactly.
protect home ice,
They
they
win.
win the series.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now you are forced to win a road game.
Yep.
And, like, that's just
It's playoff hockey.
That's how it works. Like,
Yeah. This is real. Like, look at all the other teams and what they went through in the first round. Like,
yeah, there were 5 game 7s.
Yeah.
Teams went through hell. The Avs have lost 1 game.
Yeah.
We already had somebody minimizing the fact that they swept Nashville. And
Right.
before that series, plenty of people were like, oh, the Preds are going to punch themselves in the mouth every night, and they
the-
can't handle it.
The Avs still have the
Fire
least
bed
playoff losses of anyone in the playoffs.
Yep.
So, take that whatever you want. $2 from Zeke.
Like they've lost one, and their sweep doesn't carry over, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
But this is not a team that has made a habit of one, these kinds of performances, and two, of losing.
This game loss means there is no cushion. The $2 from Zeke said, speaking of penalties, I'm happy about Kadri, which I didn't really understand. But thank you for the $2. We appreciate it. $5 from Tommy. Very similar to Vegas Game 2 last year, except we couldn't get this one to. And I don't agree. But
I know you guys don't want to relive that, but you guys should really go back and watch
How bad it was,
How different
yeah.
those games actually were.
is what it is, and
It'd be
again,
cool if we could stop talking about it, but it won't happen.
You can't until the Avs win a second round
Avs-
series.
Even if the Avs get out of the second round, it'll still be we'll remember Vegas, because the next time that they struggle,
if they
it will
if,
forever be
if-
but that.
if the
they have to
Avs-
win the cup, otherwise it will forever be but Vegas.
if the Avs get out of the second round, I don't have to acknowledge those comments anymore. That's all. Big super chat, $30 from Penelope. Thank you very much. Let this choking and face punching fire the team up. Bring on the next one.
It's good. I mean, they have
Forgot
to have
their
that
safe word.
attitude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Their
Forgot
attitude
that.
has to be bring on the next one.
$2 from Grumpy Old Scott. Do you make any lineup changes for Game 3? We kind of already got our takes. Megan, are you on the New Hook train? Are you on the Logan O'Connor train?
All right, I would take Newhook in over O'Connor.
Okay.
But it would really fulfill a lot of DU things with Monty behind the bench, Bozak over with the Blues, OC comes in. I'm so sorry for who I am as a person. I'm pro Newhook at this point. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So predictable. every time a Pio scores, I just know
Something happened.
Yeah, no. There's a disturbance somewhere in Megan's life where she just stops and she acknowledges it. There's just like a bell, like a Pio's only bell that rings out, and all Pios hear it.
It's a faint sound of the clock
Yeah.
tower in the background.
You're sitting at home by yourself doing, I have no idea what you do in your free time. And a Pio scores and you just instinctively high five yourself. Don't know why, but then you're like, oh, you know what? A Pio did a thing.
Someone did something.
In reality, Newhook is the obvious.
Yeah.
Right, not a question.
Come on.
It's Newhook.
$2 from Vaguely Sober, who super chats a poop emoji. Thank you. $5 from Jack. AJ talked about pressure on Avs if they dropped Game 1. How much pressure is now coming into St. Louis? STL fans have more hate on Kroenke
This
than
Kroenke
anyone.
thing is a St. Louis only.
Very much. Yeah.
Avs fans don't think about this for 1
At
second.
all. Not a bit.
Like this is like your fight, dude. We do not give a shit about this angle. And St. Louis fans aren't playing the fucking game. So like their perspective on it doesn't matter. The pressure is huge though, because the Avs, again, life gets really hard in the NHL when you have to chase games, you have to chase series. Like it might help Colorado to get the first goal in Game 3 and actually be out in front.
They have not done that in this series.
And see how that goes.
Yeah.
So, the pressure is there. It ramps up. With every loss, the pressure ramps up on every team. If St. Louis loses Game 3, they have to
They're-
respond in
yep.
Game 4. Otherwise, they're coming back
done.
to
They're
Denver
down 3-1. Yeah.
facing elimination. Like, every loss, the pressure goes up.
Yep, it's one less time you can lose every time. $2 from Zeke saying, do you play Frankie in Game 3?
Nope.
No.
No, dude.
Not even a question.
Obviously, it's Hunter Miska.
Like, no.
It's not even something that should cross your mind to play Frankie. It really isn't. 5 from Daniel. Icking what? Okay.
It's a pretty apt description. Can I make that my headline for the post-game piece?
I do understand exactly what he means.
I mean, that's kind of the noise that we made all watch along. Yeah.
What? $2 more from Vaguely. I was describing the game in under 30 seconds. I see.
I already handled it. I got it.
Just don't say anything. $5 from Tommy.
We did this one.
Oh, yeah, we already got that one. Huge $50 from Drew.
Canadian.
Yes, yeah, still nice.
Still
Yeah,
big.
it's Canadian.
It's Canadian.
Avs played like shit this game. Can't go 16-0 to win a cup, so just take it as it is and move on. Big guys will show up next game, and I'm, going to say Avs 5-1 next game. Binnington may or not go insane and start acting like an idiot again. Thank you.
mean,
Good way to approach it.
Like, really, like, anytime that guy starts to lose,
He
he's on the
gets
verge
pretty
of
heated,
snapping.
yeah.
he gets-
Oh, did you even
he gets
see
salty.
after he got ran into, skating out to the blue line? Oh,
I mean, he's always the world's toughest goaltender when there's 3 guys in between him. He's just not. He's always been that dude. It's fine.
$2 from Danny. Can't win them all. On to STL. Let's go Avs.
True that, Danny.
$5 more from Tommy. First game I've ever seen the Avs play on a slip and slide with the Bauer Vapor X hole in
I'm
the
not wrong
blade
about
stick.
Nick Leddy, man. Sorry.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. The ice was pretty shit. Not gonna lie to you.
Everybody.
There were a
was
lot of dudes falling over in both games 1 and 2.
Yeah.
the thing is, both teams were on that same ice.
For sure. It's not a disadvantage to anyone. I'm just saying the ice was kind of shit.
It was shitty.
The ice was shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
St. Louis handled that a lot better than Colorado did tonight.
Yep.
That's for sure.
So, is what it is. Yeah, I don't think this game is particularly complicated.
Yeah, dude. The better team won.
If you like, and the one thing you don't want to see is the Avs come out and play the same way again in Game 3. If they play back-to-back games like this, that's where you're going,
Well, that's where
something's wrong here.
Well, and that's when you're about to be down in a series,
Right.
and you should absolutely be concerned about that.
Yeah.
Because you're literally halfway to going home at that point.
Yep. So, I don't have a ton else to say. Anything particularly that I missed? No? Any final thoughts?
I mean,
Covered
it's just- I will say I'm like disappointed that like our regulars. I understand the people who aren't here all the time. I'm disappointed that so many people that we see who have been here all year
Yeah.
pulled the ripcord tonight,
Yeah.
and it's just like I understand like living in the moment,
Look,
man.
if you're in, be in. All right?
Well, you just.
And that's the thing, like, right? Like,
Yep.
one loss. I can understand if they were down 3-1. Where you're
Totally.
like, guys, I don't know if they've got it.
But
Yeah.
They lost one game in the postseason.
Yeah.
look, if
Come on,
if
man.
your heart's not ready to get hurt again, maybe playoff hockey isn't for you. All
I
right?
would say
Right.
seriously.
Have you met the Colorado Avalanche?
Have you met,
I mean,
have
most
you met
hockey.
any
But
sports
yes.
ever? Like
Yeah,
we look at we would kill for the kind of success that the Penguins had in the Crosby era with 3 cups in 16 years.
Yeah.
That's 13 years where they didn't get the job done.
Go back and watch AJ and I on the watch along from minute 17 to minute 10 of the third period. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Watching a 1-goal hockey game in the third period of the playoffs, even with the Avs trailing.
Yeah.
We're on the edge of our seat going, oh, this could be it. Oh my God. Oh.
That's what you're here for.
That's
man.
the
Great.
dream, right? That's what you want to see. Like,
I think the only thing that you look at
Florida
is
feels
you
right
just look at the home record and how good the Avs have been at home.
Yeah.
And the way that they've played in front of their home crowd. And you just didn't see that tonight, right? And you
You
feel
see-
like
you didn't see anything close to it, man.
yeah, and you feel like at the, during the playoffs, that's when you're going to get your best hockey, especially at home to get that advantage. And losing that home game sucks.
Yeah.
You want to go out of your home barn being like, we're up 2-0, we're on the
Nothing.
road. We still
control
won
the
game.
series. We split in
Yeah.
St. Louis and we're in control. Let's go. Let's finish this
But
thing
now
out.
now it's like,
Now you're in a series. Now you're in a
yeah,
grind.
put up or shut up
Yeah.
time. And that's what playoffs are. Like, if you can't take this, oh,
Yeah, if you
doesn't
can't
get any
handle-
easier after
if
this.
you can't handle game 2 of round 2, fam, like,
It's going to get way more stressful. Guaranteed.
do you guys remember the actual last cup that the Avs won?
Oh.
When they were down 3-2?
Yes.
had to win 2 in a row.
Yeah.
You had to go into New Jersey against the defending champs
It took
and do that.
But what a
7
great
games.
feeling when you accomplish that too. At the same time.
The greatest moment in sports history took a 7-game series, fam.
Yeah.
If you're in, be in. If you're out, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Yeah, like if you're out, it's totally cool.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna tell anybody like, oh, if you're not like emotionally, if like this is not something that you're comfortable with, then that's totally fine.
Yeah, your fandom is your fandom.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's just, and I'm allowed to be disappointed that people who have been here who like roll into our post-game chats and then they lose one playoff game and they're like, this is the 4th straight year. That's bullshit. I'm out. And it's just like, oh my God. Group hug it out, guys. It's okay.
$10 from RTV
Look
Productions.
how many St. Louis fans are in here tonight because they don't have a place of their own to go.
I hate
Controversial. Fuck St. Louis.
I hate Instagram. I just seen a guy say, "Can we trade McKinnon?" What a joke. Like, we don't go 16-0 and we lost and we suck. I actually hate Instagram.
Dude,
but I'm not worried Avs in 5. Let's get it.
Instagram is like the gross extension of Facebook.
I don't like
They're both horrible.
All right.
You shouldn't participate. Delete those platforms and get out of
That's
there.
some other GM's burner account. They just want McKinnon.
if
Get out of
anyone
there, fam.
actually said trade McKinnon seriously, they deserve the hate we were getting from that guy on the watch along.
Yeah, like get out of there. Yeah, like Stan Kroenke's like, this is not like a pro Stan Kroenke pod or like KSE pod.
That dude signs
But this
the checks
whole-
for the
this whole,
Avs.
like,
That's all he
the-
is. Like,
The Blues didn't get to defend their.
what about the
didn't get to
sweep
defend
last
their
year,
cup.
bro?
The Blues, the Blues did. This guy keeps making the point of the Blues didn't get to defend their cup, and it's like 3 years later.
Yeah.
This is
I
meaningful.
don't like.
It's just a weird.
Does that logic apply to last year's round 1 series? You got to play those games in
with
St.
the
Louis.
partial-
Like,
with-
I don't know.
With the partial crowd that
Yeah,
was allowed.
I don't know. Like,
Just like. Okay.
it is what
We
it is.
get that you guys hate Kroenke, but
It-
this is not. I keep telling. This is not an angle for us.
It's not. We
do not think
just
about
don't,
it.
Yeah.
The only time I think about Stan Kroenke is when I run into him in the press box and he's got those little dogs with him and he's got like the big fur coat. And you're like, you are such a boring cut and paste white guy, like rich white guy.
Dope.
It's not even like fun or interesting. It's like right out of the rich old white guy playbook. Like you got like tiny dogs coming out of your penthouse in the boring.
at minimum, there are 3 more games left in this series. At minimum. So, anyone making grand gestures about what the final score is going to be, including myself, you're just guessing.
Yep.
You don't actually know.
Yeah, right.
Wish I did.
Who the fuck knows, man?
That's why they play the games.
Yeah.
That's why we sit here and watch the games. $10 from Joseph. The playoffs are hard. There are times when you think your team will never lose again. Other times it feels like you'll never win again. Neither is probably true. Hang in there. Go Avs. Well said.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm good,
I don't know why we have to play fan base therapist after one playoff
Yeah,
loss.
it's
I understood them losing 6 of 7 down the stretch and people hitting the panic button and being like, this is not how you want to go into the postseason. It was silly and we said so, but like you could see where that logic came in.
well, and here's
They're
fam.
1-1 in the series, guys.
This
It's fine.
isn't Phoenix.
And-
This isn't Arizona.
well,
We don't have to dunk on them.
here's the situation. Every time
I'm going to.
we play fan base therapy, group hug it out, whatever. The ultimate conclusion is, all right. So the next time the Avs have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, always.
They went out and proved it in round 1. Now it's 1-1 in round 2. Go out and prove it in game 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Game 4. If they go out and prove it, no one's going to remember this loss.
I mean, they will. Because the next time they lose, they'll be like, this looks like that Blues game. And you're like, okay, and then what happened? Like,
I think that's where the Vegas comes into play. If the Avs win this series, no one will remember the Blues loss. We'll just go back to the Vegas loss.
fair enough. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, you're going to lose games.
Yep.
Yep.
The Avs only won 56 of 82 this year.
We all love Meghan, just like
Did you know you can win the Stanley Cup and lose 12 playoff games?
The Avalanche have 11 to
Yep.
go.
God, could you imagine winning a Stanley Cup and
All
going
sevens,
16 and
all
12?
seven.
Going
game.
all winning
Yeah.
all
28.
game sevens.
You go 16, like the most mediocre Stanley Cup run of all time. Just pure games, like.
But
Is
it would
that-
be an epic.
Is that
That's an epic playoff.
Is that like the
No.
worst
No?
cup team ever?
No.
Or is it the most clutch?
most
cup team?
clutch? It's the most. If you win, it's the most clutch. If you're on the other side of it,
If you go 15 and 13,
yeah, horrible. That's the
Yeah,
worst
15
play.
and 13 would be.
Yeah.
Imagine surviving 3 game sevens to lose in the Cup Final 7.
Worst Stanley Cup team ever.
Oh my God. That worse than 96 Florida somehow.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
$2 more from Tommy.
That was
They were awful.
awful.
Avs from game 1 versus Blues from game 2. Who gets the dub? Tune in for game 3 and find out.
I mean, yeah.
That's what Game 3 is played for.
The next episode, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Avs go Super Saiyan
no,
in game
it
Well,
was-
3.
I hope so. I hope they
if
do.
this was Dragon Ball Z, we would still be in the first period.
Of game 1.
Yeah, of Game 1. Just charging it up.
Okay. We're going to wrap this one up. We appreciate all of y'all hanging out. Yes, even you Blues fans. The assholes, please stop being assholes. But if you were chill in the
Yikes.
chat, we're cool with you.
Our guy Jack is allowed to come back.
Yeah, he's
I
all
disagree
right.
with him, and he can come back.
I don't know about his takes, but he's a cool guy. So that's all you got to be if you want to come vibe with us. Vibe Tribe is out here.
Spaceman doesn't have any friends, so he's also allowed to come back.
All right.
Thank you, Randy. I
Well,
agree.
you got friends here. I mean, just don't introduce any of these people to Nighthawk, all right? That's all I'm saying.
They'll stage a coup.
They can't band together on us. Don't let it happen.
I agree.
Okay. We're out of here.
Arms length.
There you go. There
You guys
you go.
can't be friends. You can
This-
both exist, but you can't be friends.
We appreciate all y'all so very much. We will be back tomorrow with a 1 p.m. pod, probably talking
God,
about
are we really?
how Florida is choking.
Please hang in there, Avalanche.
I guess
fans.
not. We don't have to, right? We'll just do the Saturday show. We can take tomorrow off.
No, I mean, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it genuinely.
Me either.
Talk Eagles
I
tomorrow?
I just
We've
didn't
talked
think
Eagles
about
already this week.
I'll keep talking.
I mean, they just haven't played yet.
Yeah,
they
they
haven't
don't play
done
till
anything
Monday.
Has
differently.
anything changed since we had the we had like a 30-minute Eagles conversation
No,
the other day?
nothing's changed.
Till Monday.
So
DNVR, and I love everybody in the chat.
I don't. Maybe we'll be live tomorrow. Maybe we won't. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys will just have to tune in.
Tune in
at
to see.
approximately 1:15, because let's be real,
That's,
we don't ever start at 1.
The easier way is just follow our Twitter accounts and we'll post it if we're
Yeah,
going
whenever
live.
we're ready. 1 to 1:15, if you've got time.
Yeah.
We're around in that area.
Okay. We love you. We're out of here.
Love you
Goodbye.
guys.